Hi there, this is Jeanette Comerford, and this is day 5 of my Halloween series for 2016. Today I'm going to show you how I created this. This is just a cheap frame that I got from the dollar store, but I colored up an image and popped it inside, and now it's part of my Halloween decor for this year. So this image is a digital image from Lily of the Valley. They've just started releasing their images as digital, so I'm super excited about that. And I'll be doing the Copic coloration, and I'll be listing all the numbers on the screen as I'm using them. So I'm going to put music on for that part so that, well, you can hear some music because it gets a little boring, I think. And then about, I would say a little bit more than midway through the video, I'm going to show you how I created the background, the distressed background look. So if you don't want to see the coloration, then just sort of speed forward until that point. So I'll catch you then. So I wanted to show you how I mask digital images. What I do is I print them out a second time, or actually a third time. I print them out on some printer paper, then I cover it with some masking paper and then reprint it. So that way I have a mask for the digital image. I did cut it out using that large stitched rectangle die, and now I'm just carefully placing the mask over top the image. And I like to sort of use a bone folder just to make sure that the tiny edges stay put. So I'm going to be sponging on some Chip Sapphire. This is Distress ink. And I'm concentrating most of it at the top, or the edges of my card, I would say, the top and the side edges. Making sure it's deeper there and then sort of fading to nothing. And then I'm using some wilted violet. So I'm putting that sort of around the image so that there's that, I guess, sort of glow around the image with this purple ink. And I'm going pretty slowly. I'm adding just a little bit of ink at a time. I'm making sure to sort of dab it off on the paper before I go on to my background. I did get a little bit of streaking over there on the side, and I'm not really sure why. But because I'll be distressing this with water, I'm not going to be overly concerned about it. So I'm going back in with that Chip Sapphire, blending it into the wilted violet. Just really want to deepen those edges. And you can see they blended pretty nice. I'm using just a little bit of black soot right on the edges just to give a little bit more depth. And now I'm just spritzing it with water using that distress sprayer. And I just quickly press my paper towel to it. This isn't watercolor paper that I'm using. It's Nina cardstock, so I had to be careful not to get the paper too wet. Any areas that were left white, I just used a paintbrush and the distress inks and just filled them in. I colored the grass with G40. Now I'm using a Prismacolor pencil. I'm using, I'm not sure what this one is called. One of them is called Spring Green, and the other one that I'm using is called Lime Peel, and I'll link those at the bottom of this video. All the supplies will be linked at the bottom of this video and also on my blog. And I'm just using some Gamsol to blend those together. And then for the bottom of my card, I'm going to go in with Mowed Lawn. This is a pretty bright green, and I'm just bringing that up on the edges from the bottom up and just sort of blending a little bit. It doesn't blend so well on the Prismacolor pencil, but again, that's okay. I'm going to be distressing that as well. So I just held my hand in front of the image so that it wouldn't spray on there. And the card or the picture is done for my frame. Thank you so much for joining. A full list of supplies and links, as I mentioned before, will be below this video or on my blog. Thank you so much for watching.